Here's another one, just as long, just as raw. I opened the door to my cottage carrying 2 paper bags of farmer's market vegetables and a bottle of the good red wine I only buy when I feel like celebrating being alive. And there he was, my younger brother, Lucas, 46 years old, sitting on my couch like he'd been planted there for years, feet on my coffee table, heels muddying the pale wood I'd refinished myself last spring, television remote in one hand, a half-eaten bag of my sea salt kettle chips in the other. A duffel bag the size of a small canoe leaned against my fireplace, and beside it sat a cardboard box labeled Lucas, Clothes and Misk in black Sharpie. He looked up, grinned the same crooked grin that got him out of every childhood punishment, and said, "Hey, big sis, hope you don't mind, I needed a reset." I stood frozen in the doorway, tomatoes threatening to roll out of the crooked bag and bruise on the floor. The screen door sighed shut behind me. "Reset," I repeated. The word tasted metallic. "Did you happen to ask if this was a good time for me to host your reset?" Lucas gave a little laugh, the same one he used at 16 when he totaled Mom's car and tried to blame the curb. "Come on, Mara, it's me. I'm family. I didn't think I had to send a formal request." He patted the couch cushion beside me like I was the guest. "Sit. You look like you've seen a ghost." I did not sit. I set the bags on the counter with deliberate care, feeling the old familiar heat crawl up my neck, the heat I'd spent 58 years learning to swallow. Lucas had always been the baby, the charming disaster, the one failed business after another, 3 marriages that ended in flames, a trail of unpaid rent and borrowed money that somehow always circled back to me. I'd bailed him out more times than I could count, because that's what big sisters do, because Mom made me a promise the week before cancer took her. "Look after your brother, Mara. He's not strong like you." So I had. For 35 years I had. And every single time he reappeared, usually drunk, always broke, forever certain the universe would catch him, he stayed exactly as long as it took for the next shiny opportunity to glitter on the horizon. Then he vanished again, leaving me with his mess and the faint smell of his cologne in my towels. I turned around slowly. "How long this time, Lucas?" He shrugged, eyes already back on the television. "Couple months? Lost the condo in Vegas, nothing dramatic, just a bad run at the tables and a landlord with no soul. I'll figure something out. You've got the space." He gestured around my small cottage like it was a resort. "And you're always saying how quiet it is since the divorce." I felt my pulse in my teeth. Yes, I had said it was quiet, once, on the phone 6 months ago, after Richard moved out and took half the furniture and all of the noise with him. I'd told Lucas the silence was restorative. What I hadn't told him was that I'd come to worship that silence the way monks worship bells, that I'd sold the big house, bought this tiny place on the edge of the forest, and finally learned to be alone without being lonely. I walked over, took the remote from his hand, and turned the television off. He blinked up at me, surprised. "Whoa, rude." "Get out." The words came out calm, almost gentle, which somehow made them worse. Lucas laughed again, but it cracked in the middle. "You're joking." "I'm not." He sat up straighter, smile fading. "Mara, come on, I've got nowhere else. I'm literally homeless right now." "You have a car, you have a credit card, mine is still paying the interest on the last time you were literally homeless, right? You have legs, use them. You are not staying here." His face changed the way it always did when charm failed him. First confusion, then indignation, then the low simmer of rage he'd perfected in middle school. "You're seriously going to put your own brother on the street?" "I'm seriously going to protect the first peace I've had in 50 decades from being bulldozed by you again." He stood up, 6'2" of wounded little boy energy. "This is about Mom's promise, isn't it? You've been waiting for the day you could throw that in my face. Look after